has arrived. Still no major, nothing really to update as far as that's concerned. He's still handling his affairs, and in the meantime, everybody's thoughts and prayers and good vibes they've been sending him are really well appreciated. We have a new movie. I started hearing a little bit about this movie. I kind of thought it was like a new thing, but this movie's been around for a while. It was made in 1985. I've seen a lot of war movies. I love watching them. I have not seen this one. I do know it's very disturbing. I've heard that about it, but beyond that, I know nothing about this film. So I hope it's not too disturbing, but I hear that it is. So I'm preparing myself. Without further ado, we'll just dive right in to come and see. I'm a little nervous, to be honest, because I've heard things. I've heard some things.
No копайте, копайте. Szczęki собачья. Недоноски смердючие.
This man's led a hard life.
Поховались?
This is a very bleak place. This kid is disturbing. Has he got a gun? Yep. Scout plane. Score is truly disturbing in this already. Nothing's even really happened, and it's already kind of disturbing. Lots of point of view in this. Shit.
Где пушка?
Сейчас.
So it looks like a German soldier. Like he looks like he's wearing a Russian hat. I can't tell. That's definitely a German gun. Yeah, he's German. But it looked like he was going to join the partisans, or thought he was going to join the partisans or something. I don't understand exactly what happened here. Is he a prisoner or is he a partisan? What's going on? A lot of POV in this film so far. That's Russians. What was the dude in the German outfit doing? I'm totally confused by this. What's going on with that shot?
Пароль! Пароль!
Shoot him.
Почему не стрелял?
Я узнал вас, товарищ командир.
Не назвал пароля, идиот.
Exactly.
Пароль тебе говорю!
You didn't shoot again. You're bad at your job, bro. I don't understand why there was a Nazi guy with him. He had a Nazi uniform on. It's just like, that's what confused me. They're clearly partisans. No, she's pretty. Beautiful eyes. He kind of has like an Oscar Isaac look about him. A lot of POV in this movie.
Поменяйся с новеньким. Он остается.
There's this weird like stuttery zoom thing they're doing in this. It seems deliberate, but at the same time it seems amateurish. I don't know why. I assume he's crying because they won't take him to war. Hey, you're stuck with the beautiful girl. You got the best job.
Оставили.
Як бы я кого не пожалел! Кричить!
Ему не жить. Я тебе.
That was weird. Color changed in her face. Something up with the lighting here. They did like some change in the lighting.
Гляди.
Being scouted, buddy. Oh shit. Damn, those are some big explosions. Whoa. Damn, they really lit off some serious detonations there. Jeez Louise. You wanted action, kid. You got it. It's interesting. I mean, the use of sound here is really cool. It's like we're in Fleur's head. They went in a rush. Whatever happened. Doesn't look right. Lights left on. Is this like some symbol of death or something? His hair's falling around. It's not a good sign.
Пошли. близко.
Oh my god. Jeez Louise. That shit was not made to walk through. That looks like hell. Jesus. That is like the nastiest place on earth. Where's the end of it? Is that the end of it? Thank God. It stressed me out just watching these guys move through it. God. Is he choking her? What the hell is he doing? Yeah. All POV. In the name of God, did they do to him? Oh, he's still alive. Oh, it's the town elder.
That's some like horrific makeup, man. That is like horrifying. That's disturbing. Jeez Louise. He's getting crazier by the second. Is he trying to rebuild a face? They built themselves a Nazi from scratch. Oh, they're making Hitler.
Это я виновата. Я.
Why did they make a Hitler? Yeah. He's gonna die from exhaustion before he gets killed by a bullet. Why are they carrying this Hitler around? Oh, they got bombs in there. Leaflets. What are they telling you guys?
Видишь, да, большевика. Рожа просит кирпича. Куды?
Mines.
Стой, дядя. После продолжишь.
Doesn't have much milk. You guys better keep running. Yep, you need to keep running, buddy boy. Wow, that's pretty freaking cool. That was wild. What a great shot. That was like nuts. Now have a dead cow? Nope. But he's dead. Told you, run, get the fuck out of there. Take his gear and go. Get that cow. Don't let it get away. Maybe ride him. Ah!
No time to cry. You need to get out of there. Gotta get out of there, kid. That's a cool shot. That is so well lit, too. I love how they use the fog here. It's really cool. As well as a great composition. Tanks. It's bad news. He really hangs with these shots for a long time. Uh-oh, SS. They're the worst of the worst. Fuck, they're everywhere. I love the use of the fog.
It like really creates a mood. This place seems nightmarish and dreamy in a way. I'm gonna burn them. Man, that's just so brutal. No way, he's stuck in there too. Kill that bastard.
Oh man, they're gonna put him to the torch. This is bad. Fucking Germans are such bastards about. Jesus Christ.
Без детей выходи. Можно. Сюда, в окно. Дети оставить.
What the hell kind of twisted game is this guy playing? More POV. What the f is that? Jesus. I'm gonna put the kid back over. Kid stays. Jeez. Oh, man. But you never put anything past the Nazis. I mean, they're just the rottenest, most evil f***ers ever. Why did they save these people? I don't understand that. God, he can barely hold that thing. Jesus Christ. Wow. I don't understand why they spared that group. It's like, why have witnesses to your crime? These fucking SS, they were bastards, man. They were real bastards. The Nazis in general, the SS in particular. Really, really horrific. This is in Belarus in 1943, so there's 2 years left on the war. They invaded Russia in 41. It's like, were they retreating from Russia when they did this, or did they just, like, invade it? I don't really know. Jesus. It's like using a real flamethrower. That's scary, man. There's like some things you don't see in like American films. It's like they're using like real shit. Yeah. Man, they just stay with it. It just keeps going. Jesus Christ. It would have been better for that girl if she burned alive. It's like some kind of just crazy party for them. Kill people, rape people, it's just nuts. They really hang with these shots for a long time too. I mean, it's disturbing. That's truly disturbing. Oh, they're getting killed. Why do you take the 2 cotton balls or things right there? There it is. How to fix this gun. There's Kosach. Is that like a tilt shift going on there? What's... Or no, it's a diopter. Got a little diopter action happening. Looks like he's 1,000 years old. That's the girl they took, right? What'd they find? Oh, this asshole. Oh, there's the captain or whatever. Burn him. Burn him.
Вот этих убить! Просто убить и все! Это СС. Каратель. Они сжигали. Да! Мы не немцы. Что сидеть? Нас заставили. Я дам своих детей в огне покину!
Burn them. Burn them.
Он старый и больной человек. Он никогда никого не обижал.
No, he just sat by and watched it.
Ich bin wirklich alt.
There you go. Got the petrol.
In den Wohlstand ist Krieg.
That one too. He used SS.
Да. Это я сказал. Без детей выходи. А дети оставить.
Well, he's owning up to it.
Sein Ursprung in Kindern hat.
Вас не должно быть. И все народы имеют расы, плодят заразу коммунизма. И миссия будет исполнена.
Well, you're signing your own death certificate, boy.
Сегодня
Yeah. Get it.
это не я. Смерть! Смерть! Смерть!
Ну-то ты сейчас вместе со своими.
So I'm assuming some of these were Belarusians that were helping them. Shooting them was way too easy for what they did. Jeez. That's some odd shit there. I wish Major was here to tell me what that was. I mean, they really hang in these scenes a long time. Really explore sort of like those emotions. It's just absolutely authentic. I mean, this is like, this guy, you feel like they're doing the zoom again. But it's like it's a push zoom. This is the only time he shot that gun. Yeah, sometimes when I see stuff about World War II, it's hard to believe this stuff happened and was so common at that time. It's just hard to believe the kind of things that were happening. It's, you can't even make this shit up. You know what I mean? Just going back in time to the start. That's pretty wild. This is a pretty wild way to use like old footage like this. They're like really taking it back to the beginning. Well, that's as far back as you can go. That's really interesting. Never seen something like that in a film before. It's just wild. I mean, they really picked the right kid for this movie. 628. Man, hard, dude. That's so hard. Like it becomes just part of the amorphous mob of people. That's pretty good. They really hang with this stuff. Whoa, what an ending. Wow. So, I mean, it's like you can't really like watch a film like that just, you know, makes it so in your face and so real, and not have, you know, some emotions about it. You know, it's like I've never seen this film. It's like, you know, the horrors of the Nazis in World War II are extremely well documented. You know, especially the ones to the Jewish people, and anyone else that they considered subhuman Übermensch types. It's amazing, and I think I said it before that, you know, when you look at these things, it's like this isn't, you know, in the best works of fiction, you can't come up with the nasty shit that people will do in the context of this. But it was really interesting to see like how these guys came into this village, burned it to the ground without mercy, and then when they're caught, are begging for their lives, except for the one guy who's like, well, F it, he knows he's going to die. He just basically tells them to their faces that he hates their guts, and sort of crystallizes for everyone exactly what they're thinking. But I assume the other guys who were around him, like that guy with all the little Nazi things on his helmet, he seemed to be like a lackey for the Nazis, and probably was Belarusian. So I'm assuming that some of those other guys were Belarusian conscripts to the Nazi cause. I mean, it's a hard film. I'll be honest, like the first hour and a half, it was so kind of meandery that it was hard to follow exactly. I mean, in a way, the film has almost no plot. It just kind of is like this day in the life of this guy, or a couple, 2, 3, 4 days in the life of this guy, and it's about like surviving. I mean, he's going through the field with the cow, and they're so hungry they're like taking drinks off of it. It's like it really shows how desperate a situation these folks were in pretty well. The mental state of this guy was sort of like something I questioned almost all the way through. He did have this shell-shocked look about him. I mean, I knew we were kind of working to something like what ended up happening. I didn't exactly know how it would happen. I kind of thought that the village he lived in would end up being there, and that's where the what happened would happen. But it is kind of like one of these things where he's just in a place, and then suddenly he's like thrown in with this other group of people, and it was interesting. I mean, it was a interesting sort of way to get to the heart of the thing, which was to show the brutality of the Nazis in this campaign that they were under in Belarus to genocide. It was a total genocide, and that one Nazi SS guy crystallized it and said, "You don't deserve to live," and that's what he believed, and that's why they were going through and wiping people out like that. I mean, it was just brutal. So I mean, yeah, it's just it's a tough watch. I mean, it's just dark. There's no, I guess in a way the ending is kind of saying, come with us, join us, we're fighting, this is why we fight, type of thing. That was the impression I got. It was like, because you're marching with them, you're following them, he goes into the group and just sort of, you don't ever see him again. He's a part of that unit of men who are going to fight these fascists. But it's really very necessary, because these things did happen, and we need to not forget that they happened, because it does seem so far from what is happening today. I mean, war has become something that's kind of antiseptic. You see it on the news and stuff, and surgical strikes, and bombs that like hit targets through a window, and 2 people die, and we just sort of say, well, it's a surgical strike. They don't carpet bomb anymore. They don't like blow up an entire city to get whatever their goal is in a war anymore, because you can't do it and not appear to be beasts like these guys were. But this was just total war, total killing. Civilians, doesn't matter. They'll kill you. They'll destroy you, because at the end of the day, they don't think you deserve to live. The message of this is very important, and that it's important to remember that these things did happen, and that given the right circumstances, they could happen again. And so it's something to be mindful of. I mean, that's the way I feel about it after watching it. As far as camera technique, I mean, there was a lot of handheld work that I saw. The dark scenes were weird, because it seemed like they were overly dark, like you couldn't see anything. There were these odd little sort of stuttery push zooms that were happening, which were disconcerting. It was I don't even know exactly why. It was an interesting choice, but it almost has the feel it felt to me almost like a Paul Greengrass film. Like, it just kind of follows this timeline. We're just sort of in this timeline of he's here, he goes here. It's the next day they're on the mission with the Hitler statue, and they're going somewhere else to do something, and then he ends up in this village, and and then this thing happens, and it all resolves itself in the way that it did. So it has this very sort of like stream of consciousness type aspect to it. The other thing that I did notice was it was so much POV, like just POV after POV after POV after POV, people looking right straight through you, especially that the main kid. He looks like the 1,000-yard stare image that you see from World War II. It's just like he can't even contemplate what he's seen. It was, the score was interesting too. I think that the thing with the plane, like you wouldn't hear the plane sound, but you heard like a musical, sort of synthetic or synthesizer sound for that, and you kind of knew that plane was above watching everything. I also was like, what is with that crane or whatever it was following him around? That was an odd thing too. I mean, it's a powerful film. It took a while to build, and it was kind of like, where are we going? I kind of knew what was going to happen, but it kind of didn't, and in what way. I honestly expected it to be much more violent based on what people had told me, so I was a little bit like, in watching this, I was a little bit more like, well, it's not as, I thought like heads were going to be cut off and things like that, so it was like, so I wasn't as shocked as I was, but it's a disturbing film. It's disturbing because it's real, or it seems very real, and I don't doubt that things like this happened quite often in that period, and in this campaign that the Nazis committed against the Belarusians. And I'm sure that they did it as when they went into Russia and came out of Russia as well, when they lost Stalingrad. Luckily, they were almost an entire army in Stalingrad was destroyed by the Russians that inhabited that, and that's something like 100, 200,000, 300,000 men. It was some crazy number of Nazis that were killed by the Russians in Stalingrad. At that last sequence, when he's shooting the poster of Hitler, and it's the timeline of Hitler going backwards all the way to his birth. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I was really surprised by that. And, the director is like perfectly willing to hang as far as he needed to go with shots. He would hang on scenes super long, just like the ending with following the troops around. It's like he would hang on that for a while. He hung on the Nazi thing. He was like saying, this is like him, and we're going to take it all the way back and say, you know what, maybe we should have killed this baby in the crib. Maybe, but it didn't. It did happen. So, and it all started with, Hitler. I think at the end, it was the woman who was taken into the German truck who came out with her legs bleeding and, or her bleeding, that you saw on her legs. But it looked a lot like Glasha, which I'm sure was intentional. I don't know, maybe it could have been her, because he then repeats what Glash had said about having children and all that, and like how almost like in a mocking kind of a way. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about it. Well, that's the end of Come and See, and but anyway, we're gonna leave it there. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially leave comments, your thoughts, your feelings on this. I know it's a lot, and I'm assuming that like people who've seen these types of films, can look at it in that sort of way that it was intended. Check us out next week. I'm sure we'll have something up. Hopefully Major will be back pretty soon. We shall see. But for now, I'll leave it at that, and you guys have a good one.